Life has this funny way of showing up with a smile one day and a storm cloud the next. One moment you're on top of the mountain and the next you're face first in the mud, wondering what just happened. Let's be honest, life gets ugly. Maybe it's a relationship that broke your heart. Maybe it's a diagnosis you never saw coming. Maybe it's anxiety, shame, or regret hanging on your shoulders like a weight you can't shake off. But I came to tell someone today, just because life gets ugly doesn't mean God isn't working. 1. God can use the ugly for something beautiful. That job you lost, that person who walked away, that season that almost broke you. Don't count it as wasted. God has a track record of turning ashes into beauty, and He's not about to stop now. It might look like destruction, but it could be divine construction. He's building something in you, strength, wisdom, compassion that only the ugly could produce. 2. Don't park at the place of your pain. Listen, it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel it. But don't pitch a tent there. Don't let pain become your permanent address. You may have passed through something painful, but you don't have to stay in it. You're not what happened to you, you're what you do next. Keep walking, keep moving, keep trusting. 3. Your attitude in the ugly did your altitude. Here's the truth. Storms come for all of us. But how you ride them makes all the difference. You can let bitterness rot you from the inside out, or you can say, this hurts, but I know I'm not alone. I know there's a purpose for my pain. Gratitude in the dark is what brings the light. Trust in the valley is what takes you to the mountaintop. 4. Keep walking. Breakthrough is on the other side. When life brings the ugly, the enemy wants you to believe it's the end. But what if it's just the beginning? What if your setback is the setup? What if the tears you've cried are watering the seeds of something so much greater? You're not done. God's not done. So keep walking. Keep showing up, because your breakthrough is right on the other side of your perseverance. So today, if you're standing in the middle of the mess, I want you to remember this. Ugly seasons don't define you, they refine you. There is beauty on the other side. There is healing after heartbreak. There is purpose in your pain. And you, my friend, you're not just going to survive it, you're going to rise from it. Thank you. Would you like this speech in a printable or presentation-friendly format too? Absolutely. Here's an expanded version of the first keynote. God can use the ugly for something beautiful, written in that same heartfelt, honest, faith-filled tone, and brought to life in about 700 words as requested. Life doesn't always come wrapped in pretty bows and sweet blessings. Sometimes it comes crashing in with broken pieces, shattered dreams, and questions that don't have easy answers. Sometimes life gets ugly, and not just inconvenient or uncomfortable. I'm talking about the kind of ugly that leaves scars, the kind that makes you wonder, where is God in all of this? But I want you to hear me clearly today. Just because it looks ugly right now doesn't mean it's over. God is a master at taking what the world calls useless and turning it into something priceless. He can take the very things that try to destroy you and use them as the foundation for your greatest testimony. You think about it, some of the most beautiful stories ever told didn't start in comfort. They started in chaos. They started with loss, betrayal, disappointment, pain, and yet somehow, by some kind of holy grace, they were redeemed, restored, rewritten into something worth celebrating. We want life to look neat. We want it to follow our plan, stay within the lines, go according to schedule. But God isn't limited to neat. He does His best work in the mess. He does miracles in the middle of madness. And He doesn't need perfect conditions to do something perfect in you. That failed relationship, that wasn't just heartbreak, it was God redirecting you. That job you lost, maybe it wasn't rejection, maybe it was protection. The thing that almost took you out. Look at you, you're still here. You didn't break, you bent, but you didn't break. And that alone is proof that there's purpose in what you've been through. I know it's hard to see it when you're in the middle of it. When you're knee-deep in the struggle, it's almost impossible to imagine beauty coming from your ashes. But that's how God works. He's not asking you to understand the process, He's asking you to trust it. Because His ways are higher than ours and His perspective is bigger than our pain. Some of the ugliest moments in my own lifetimes, when I was completely undone, when I thought I had nothing left, turned out to be the very places God met me the most deeply. Not because I did anything to earn it, but because I needed Him. And that's where beauty begins, in the raw, honest moments where we admit that we can't do it alone. There's a reason we're told that all things work together for the good of those who love God. It doesn't say all things are good. Some things are terrible. Some things are heartbreaking. But God has the power to reach into even the darkest of situations and pull out something you never saw coming. A new perspective, a new purpose, a deeper peace. You see, if it were all easy, you wouldn't be as strong as you are now. If you never went through the ugly, you wouldn't have the same compassion, the same depth, the same testimony. That pain shaped you. That fire refined you. It didn't come to kill you, it came to prepare you. And yes, it's okay to grieve what was lost. It's okay to feel the hurt, but don't stay stuck in it. Because the same God who allowed the storm is the same God who will carry you through it and bring something beautiful out of it when it's all said and done. You may not see it yet. It might still look like ashes, but give it time. Healing takes time. Growth takes time, but beauty will come. You just have to hold on long enough to see it. So if you're sitting in the middle of a mess right now, please don't assume it's the end. Don't assume that it's meaningless. You are not forgotten. You are not discarded. You are not broken beyond repair. God sees the whole picture, even when you only see broken pieces. And He's not finished with your story, not even close. What looks like the end to you might be the very beginning of something more beautiful than you ever imagined. Absolutely. Here's an expanded version of the second keynote. Don't park at the place of your pain, written in a style that is heartfelt, empowering, and motivating, stretched to around 700 words. We all go through pain. It's part of the human experience. There's no avoiding it. At some point, every single one of us faces something that feels too much to bear. It might be the loss of a loved one, a betrayal that cuts deep, a dream that crashes, or a failure that shakes your foundation. Pain feels real, it feels raw, and sometimes it feels like it will never end. But here's something crucial I want you to understand. You don't have to live in your pain. Pain is something we all go through. It's a part of the journey, but it's not where we're supposed to stop. When life hits us hard, we have a choice. We can allow ourselves to stay stuck in that pain to make it our permanent home, or we can choose to keep moving forward no matter how difficult that forward may seem. I know it's hard to think about moving on when you're hurting. It feels unnatural, almost impossible. You may feel like the pain defines you, like it's the only thing that is real in that moment. But if you stay there, if you park at the place of your pain, you risk letting it control your future. You risk letting it dictate who you are, and here's the truth, you are not your pain. Your pain does not define you. What you went through doesn't have the right to become who you are. It's a part of your story, yes, but it doesn't have to be the whole story. Pain is not a place to settle, it's a place to pass through. It's like walking through a dark tunnel. You don't live in the tunnel, you walk through it, knowing that on the other side there's light, there's freedom, there's peace. But if you choose to camp out in the darkness, if you decide that the tunnel is where you belong, you will miss the hope and the healing that waits just beyond it. It's okay to acknowledge your pain. It's okay to feel the weight of what you've lost or what you've gone through. But don't set up camp there. Don't make it your home. When you park at the place of your pain, you risk being immobilized by it. The longer you sit there, the harder it is to move again. You lose your perspective. You lose your hope. You begin to forget that there's more to life than just this one moment, this one hurt. And let's be real, staying in pain can feel comfortable in a strange way. It can become familiar. It's like wearing an old coat that's torn and tattered but feels warm because you're used to it. But you weren't made to wear that coat forever. You weren't made to be defined by the worst things that happened to you. You were made to rise, to grow, to become more than just what you've experienced. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's quick. There are no shortcuts through pain. But I'm saying that you can make the choice to walk through it rather than live in it. You can choose to take one step at a time, even if it feels like those steps are heavy and slow. God is not asking you to leap across the chasm of your hurt. He's just asking you to keep moving. He's asking you to trust that He'll be with you every step of the way. Your pain may have brought you to a halt, but it doesn't have to keep you there. You have the power to keep going. You have the strength to move forward, even when it's hard to see how. And yes, there will be days when you feel like you're stuck. There will be days when you want to quit. But let me encourage you, keep walking. Don't let the hurt stop you from your purpose. Don't let the difficulty block your destiny. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is just keep going. Keep showing up. Keep trusting that there's more to your story than the hurt you're facing. It's painful, but it's not the end. What lies ahead of you is far greater than anything you're leaving behind. Pain is just one chapter in your book, not the whole narrative, and you're the one who decides how that story ends. So don't park at the place of your pain. Keep moving forward, even if it's just a small step today. Because every step is a step closer to the healing and the freedom that God has for you. I believe in you. God believes in you. And the most beautiful chapters of your life, they're still ahead. Just keep going. Don't park here. You have somewhere beautiful to be? Absolutely. Here's the expanded version of the third keynote: your attitude in the ugly determines your altitude, written with a motivational, encouraging, and empowering tone, stretched to around 700 words. We all know that life isn't always smooth sailing, it's not always sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes life throws challenges at us that we don't expect: difficult people, unexpected setbacks, disappointments, and heartache. In those moments, it's easy to get caught up in the negativity. It's easy to let frustration and bitterness take over. But here's a hard truth: how you respond to life when it gets ugly will determine how high you rise from that moment. Life's challenges don't just shape what happens to us, they shape what we become. And the key to rising above the challenges you face lies in your attitude. It's not always the situation itself that defines your outcome, it's your response to it. The truth is, your attitude in the ugly will determine your altitude in the future. When life gets hard, it's easy to feel like everything is against you. It's easy to feel discouraged, like there's no way out. But let me ask you this: have you ever noticed that some of the most successful and most joyful people are the ones who've gone through the ugliest situations? They're the ones who faced trials, yet chose not to let those trials define them. They made a decision to keep their hearts full of faith, gratitude, and determination. And that attitude is what has carried them to places of greater strength, peace, and purpose. Here's the thing: the storms of life will come no matter who you are. You will face challenges that shake you to your core, but you get to choose how you handle it. Will you let the difficulty consume you, or will you rise above it? Will you focus on the obstacle, or will you fix your eyes on the opportunity that's hidden within the challenge? You see, every ugly moment contains a seed of growth, but that seed will only bloom if you approach it with the right attitude. Let's take a moment to talk about perspective. Our attitude is rooted in our perspective. When life gets ugly, it's natural to feel overwhelmed, but sometimes all we need is a shift in perspective. Instead of seeing hardship as something that will break us, what if we started seeing it as something that will build us? Instead of feeling defeated by difficulty, what if we saw it as an opportunity to develop the resilience, wisdom, and strength we need for the future? A positive attitude doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It doesn't mean ignoring the hurt or pretending like the struggle doesn't exist. It means choosing to focus on the bigger picture, the fact that you are not defined by your pain, and that every struggle has the potential to shape you into someone stronger. It means saying, yes, this is hard. Yes, I'm hurting, but I am going to keep going. I am going to trust that there's a lesson in this, a blessing hidden in this mess. I'm not saying it's easy. It's not. It takes courage to keep a good attitude when the world feels like it's falling apart around you. But a good attitude will lift you higher than anything else ever could. It will open doors where none seem to exist. It will bring peace when all seems chaotic. It will make a way when you thought there was no way. When your heart is full of gratitude, when your spirit remains unshaken, even in the midst of the storm, that's when the beauty begins to emerge. When you choose joy in the face of pain, you are claiming victory over it. It doesn't mean the difficulty goes away immediately, but it does mean that you are not allowing the difficulty to control you. You are not letting it define your future. It's easy to let the ugly moments make us bitter. It's easy to let frustration take hold and turn us into people we don't want to be. But let me remind you of something: you are in control of your response. You can choose peace. You can choose hope. You can choose to see beyond the pain and believe that something greater is coming. Your attitude isn't just an emotional response, it's a decision. And that decision determines how high you will rise from the ashes of your pain. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Every ugly moment can become a stepping stone towards something greater if you approach it with the right mindset. So next time life throws something ugly your way, choose to rise above it. Choose gratitude instead of bitterness. Choose faith instead of fear. Choose joy instead of despair, because your attitude in the ugly is what will determine your altitude. How you respond today will shape who you become tomorrow. It might be tough. It might feel impossible. But remember, you're not in this alone. You have the strength to overcome, the power to choose, and a future that is greater than any moment of difficulty you face today. Keep your attitude right, and you'll find that the sky is the limit, of course. Here's an expanded version of the fourth keynote: keep walking breakthrough is on the other side in a motivational and empowering tone, stretched to around 700 words. We all face moments in life that feel like we're at the end of our rope. It might be a season of struggle, a period where things just aren't going your way, or a challenge that seems insurmountable. It can be incredibly hard to keep going when it feels like nothing is changing, when every step forward seems met with a setback, or when the darkness around you feels overwhelming. In those moments, the temptation is strong to quit, to give up, to throw in the towel and resign yourself to the thought that it's never going to get better. But I want to encourage you today, keep walking, keep going, don't stop, because breakthrough is on the other side. When you're in the middle of the storm, it can be hard to believe that things will ever change. It's easy to feel like you're stuck, like this is all there is and that there's no way out. But you are not stuck. You are in the process. And the truth is, God doesn't waste any moment of your struggle. Every step you take, no matter how small it seems, is a step toward your breakthrough. Every day you choose to keep moving forward, you are closer to the victory that awaits you. Sometimes it's not the immediate breakthrough we need, but the perseverance to keep going when it seems impossible. It's easy to be faithful when things are easy. It's easy to trust when everything is going well. But the real test of faith comes when things are tough, when you're up against a wall, when the mountain in front of you looks too steep to climb. That's when your character is built. That's when your strength is forged. You might not be able to see the way out right now. It might look like you're walking in circles or heading nowhere. But every step of faith you take is part of God's greater plan. It's part of the process that is leading you to where you're supposed to be. The breakthrough you're waiting for might not come in the way you expect or in the timing you want, but it will come. God is always working behind the scenes, even when you can't see it. Think about all the people in the Bible who faced impossible situations. Abraham, waiting for the promise of a child that seemed too late. Moses leading the Israelites through the wilderness, unsure of what the future held. David running for his life, knowing he was called to be king, but having to endure years of hardship. None of them knew exactly when or how their breakthrough would come, but they kept walking. They kept trusting. They kept moving forward. And because of that, they saw God's promises fulfilled in ways they couldn't have imagined. In your life, the same principle applies. The breakthrough you're waiting for may not come in a single dramatic moment. It may come over time through a series of small steps, through the gradual building of strength, wisdom, and resilience. But every step is leading you to something better. Every moment of persistence is moving you closer to the freedom, joy, and fulfillment that God has for you. There will be days when it feels like you're walking in the dark, when you can't see where you're going and every path seems blocked. But even in those moments, trust that God is guiding your steps. Keep walking even when you don't know where the road leads. Trust that He will lead you to your breakthrough and that nothing you're going through is wasted. The hardest times in life are often the very times that shape us the most. When everything is stripped away, when we're tested in ways we never imagined, that's when we find out who we really are. And it's in those moments that God does some of His best work. When you keep walking through the hard times, when you trust even when it's difficult, you are being refined. You are being prepared for what's coming next. It's easy to quit when you can't see the finish line. But I promise you the breakthrough is coming. You may not know exactly when it will happen or how it will look. But if you keep going, if you keep trusting, if you keep showing up, you will see the fruit of your perseverance. On the other side of this challenge is your breakthrough. On the other side of this pain is the peace you're longing for. On the other side of the struggle is the victory that has been waiting for you all along. So today I challenge you, don't stop. Don't quit. Keep walking. Even when the road feels long. Even when you don't understand the journey, because your breakthrough is waiting for you. And you'll get there step by step, one faithful movement at a time. Your story isn't over yet. Keep walking because the best chapters are still ahead of you.